Let's be honest, the apocalypse seems kind of exciting, doesn't it?
Goddamn apocalypse.
The Walking Dead, Falling Skies, Z Nation, The Hunger Games, and other visions of a post-apocalyptic future are inescapable in the current pop culture landscape. It seems we just can't get enough. But why? What is it about the end of the world that's so alluring? We'll be looking into how changes in technology and society, including the advent of nuclear weapons, reshaped our fears and gave birth to a sci-fi trope.
I tell you, gentlemen, science has agreed that unless something is done and done quickly, man, as the dominant species of life on Earth, will be extinct within a year.
For centuries, ancient societies have produced apocalyptic literature such as the Epic of Gilgamesh and the Book of Revelations. But Mary Shelley's 1826 novel The Last Man, about a plague that ravages the Earth, is considered by many to be the first modern end-of-the-world tale. It kicked off the idea that the end of the world would come not by the wrath of some vengeful god, but by the result of human action.
At 8:15 in the morning of August 6, Japanese time, the first atomic bomb hit an enemy target.
The form of post-apocalyptic story that we're familiar with today really began at the end of World War II. Following Hiroshima, the possibility of global nuclear annihilation became very real and very scary. Think about this for a second. Humanity is suddenly confronted with something we made that could wipe us all out. The technical innovation behind the bomb spoke to the possibilities that human brains could create something big and amazing.
This is the power of the atom.
But the destructive potential scared the ever-living crap out of us. Would we be responsible for our own demise?
A scientific thunderbolt gives a preview of its destructive force.
Naturally, we made movies about the worst-case scenarios. In the immediate aftermath of the first atomic bomb, a slew of apocalyptic B-movies invaded cinemas, including The Day the World Ended, On the Beach, When Worlds Collide, and World Without End. Giant creature movies like Tarantula, Them, It Came From Beneath the Sea, and The Amazing Colossal Man were offshoots of this theme, showcasing how atomic power could turn ordinary things into monsters.
Then expect something that's fiercer, more cruel and deadly than anything that ever walked the earth.
While these movies titillated audiences and provided an outlet for growing nuclear fears, it wasn't until the 1960s that cinema began to reflect more contemplatively on the destruction of society. The 1962 French short film La Jetée had a huge influence on the post-apocalyptic genre, most famously inspiring Terry Gilliam's 1995 film 12 Monkeys.
5 billion people died in 1996 and 1997.
The short film is set in the tunnels beneath a post-apocalyptic Paris ravaged by the horrors of World War III. In the film, scientists research time travel as a way to call past and future to rescue the present. This attempt to harness the science of time travel to correct the past plainly expresses the fundamental contradiction of technology, that it has the potential to become both emancipator and destroyer. La Jetée took the seeds of the technology gone wrong themes of the atomic era and broadened them. No longer was a post-apocalyptic movie defined by its ties to nuclear paranoia. Rather, the door was opened for new, scary societal ills to inform our end-of-the-world scenarios. Case in point, the Vietnam War. In 1968, George A. Romero's Night of the Living Dead hit theaters amidst the war's escalation and divisive protests against it.
Mass hysteria. What do they think? We're imagining all this?
The film shows a world overrun by violent zombies. However, many saw the gore depicted on screen as a reflection of the atrocities committed abroad. Romero himself has emphasized that his zombie films in particular dramatize failures of human cooperation and are a way to show societies that are in contradiction. That same year, Planet of the Apes offered a different kind of apocalyptic vision, one where modern society has collapsed and the world is ruled by damn dirty apes.
Take your stinking paws off me, you damn dirty ape!
An iconic scene at the end of the film reveals that what the audience assumed to be a foreign planet is actually Earth.
You maniacs! You blow it up!
The exact cause of the destruction of human society is not explained, but something along the lines of World War III is strongly implied. Either way, the message is clear. Society has destroyed itself. In the 1970s, global tensions were heightening and the apocalyptic prophecies spelled out in science fiction appeared more prescient than ever. With the Vietnam War still ongoing and a series of botched Middle Eastern interventions by the United States leading to an oil embargo by OPEC, the future of society appeared bleak. All of this made the vision of the future portrayed in the 1979 film Mad Max seem all the more believable.
I am the Night Rider. I'm a fuel-injected suicide machine.
In the film, mankind's most valuable resource, oil, has been depleted. Society has succumbed to war, famine, and plague, and bands of roaming warlords rule the streets. Once again, we see real-life fears informing end-of-the-world visions. International relations were strained even further in 1983 when Ronald Reagan proposed the Strategic Defense Initiative, popularly referred to as Star Wars. This missile defense program threatened to reignite an offensive arms race with the Soviets, and the next year, the Terminator followed Reagan's defense strategy to its worst possible conclusion.
You're dead, honey.
In the 1984 film, an artificially intelligent missile defense network called Star Wars, or Skynet, initiates a global nuclear holocaust. Some of the motivations of the film's time-traveling protagonist and villain don't make a ton of sense if you think about them too hard.
Fuck you, asshole.
But the film is yet another expression of the fear that attempts to use technology to safeguard humanity may ultimately end in its destruction. After the collapse of the Soviet Union in 1991, Americans seemed to be able to breathe a sigh of relief. The threat of nuclear war was receding into the background, but a new, revolutionary phenomenon had hit the American mainstream: cyberspace.
Kayaking friends on your computer?
Yeah, I just got America Online.
At the time, digital anything seemed rife with amazing possibilities, but it also scared the hell out of people with visions of artificial intelligence and Y2K madness. The 1999 film The Matrix and its sequels played on exactly those fears.
The Matrix is everywhere. It is all around us. Even now, in this very room.
The films paint a picture of a world in which sentient machines have destroyed humanity, reducing it to merely a power source for the machine's own activities. Meanwhile, humans are kept distracted by sophisticated computer simulations.
This is a sparring program, similar to the programmed reality of The Matrix.
The film warns that we may become so dazzled by our own creations that we lose control and become neutralized by them. This same theme is taken up again by Pixar's 2008 film WALL-E, which gives us a striking portrayal of the future. In WALL-E, Earth is reduced to a desolate, lifeless wasteland, while overfed humans nearly bulging out of their red spandex onesies are kept suspended in a state of techno-distraction aboard a spaceship.
Attention, Axiom shoppers. Try blue. It's the new red.
Ooh. Meanwhile, the robots that were supposed to clean up Earth and save humanity didn't. WALL-E shows us that, once again, technology has brought about society's demise rather than its salvation. With hurricanes Katrina and Sandy, the BP oil spill, the Fukushima nuclear disaster, and the mounting tide of climate change-related phenomena, a post-apocalyptic staple came back to the forefront: the environmental disaster film. Examples of this include movies like The Day After Tomorrow, 2012, and the 2013 film Snowpiercer. In the film, a failed attempt to engineer the climate and reverse global warming results in a global ice age that destroys nearly all life on Earth, except for the passengers aboard a long train circling the globe. The film is laced with political allegory, tackling not only environmental concerns, but also class issues.
I belong on the head, you belong on the foot. Yes, so it is.
It's a pointed satire on capitalism and runaway climate change that leaves viewers with little hope for the future of humanity. With war, murder, disease, and environmental disasters dominating our news feeds, the chance to hit the global restart button...
Thank you for pressing the self-destruct button. This ship will self-destruct in 3 minutes.
...is bizarrely a therapeutic way to contemplate the real human potential to end the world. Hence the cinematic visions of the apocalypse over the last 50 years. And as society has evolved and our means of self-destruction increased, so too have the visions of Armageddon. And that is where the post-apocalyptic trope comes from.
We may be witnesses to a biblical prophecy come true, and there shall be destruction and darkness come up in creation, and the beast shall reign over the earth.
And until then, head over to sci-fiwire.com for more videos and more dispatches from the world of fandom.